Throughout my sports betting career, I've had some pretty easy wins. Got to look to baseball for all the easy, no sweat wins you're going to get, where I've cashed over bets in the very first inning of games, and those are fun. But next to those, yesterday's free pick win was about as easy a no sweat win as you're ever going to get. 1-0 is the best you can possibly hope for in and under. So tonight is a very unique night in sports betting. And I really don't have a whole lot of desire to watch sports tonight. I'm going to tell you why. There's two things going on tonight that makes me want to just go for a nice walk on the water, take in the nice night, as opposed to watching sports, because the first thing we have going on is our biggest play of the year. We have the Yankees to win tonight. They're out to an early lead. It's baseball. Anything can happen. It's our biggest play of the year. It's actually in our consensus group an incredibly rare 5-unit play. We almost never have them, okay? Masterclass, it's a 2-unit play. So it's our biggest play that we have in Masterclass. It is the top play we'll ever have in consensus group. And above and beyond that, my Leafs are playing in an elimination game. And rather than sit there and sweat this shit out, I just go for a walk and talk to you guys. So that's what I'm going to do instead of watching that. At the end of the day, look, the reality is in sports betting, the results are going to be the results. Our goal is to find value in the lines, to practice perfect bankroll management, and we're going to have incredible runs and incredible days, and we're going to have the lowest of lows. But at the end of the day, guys, it is about the long term. And for the people who think short term in sports betting, this isn't for you. I'm sorry. So for those of you guys who really like short videos, this is not for you. But those of you guys that like good old-fashioned content, like the kind of content I used to make way back in the day, here we go. All right, guys, so if you will, we're going to take a little trip down memory lane. I'm going back almost 24 years when the best thing that ever happened to me in sports betting happened. And at the time, it certainly didn't seem that way. What was the best thing that ever happened to me in my sports betting career? I lost $20,000, almost $20,000 in 2 days. Now, on the surface, that might sound like a little bit crazy to say that is the best thing that has happened in your sports betting career, but it is. I'm going to tell you why, okay? So I deposited, a lot of you guys heard this story, I deposited $500 in my sports betting account, and I went on an epic run. Now, my bankroll management was a little bit suspect. I was betting way too much per game, but I went on a proper run. I turned $500 into almost $20,000 in the span of an NFL and college football season. And then in 2 days, okay, Saturday, Sunday, I lost every single penny of that money. Now, I wasn't a professional at the time, far from it. I was making all the mistakes that you could possibly make in sports betting, blowing up my bankroll, obviously, chasing my losses, doing stupid stuff. And that's exactly how I lost that entire amount of money. Now, to put this into context, the car I was driving at the time, I paid $700 for. Okay, I had a $700 car. It had one windshield wiper. And I lost $20,000 in 2 days. I walked around like a zombie for a month. I was pretty much done with sports betting. I'm like, that's it. I am out of this. Like, I can win. I can find value. I can beat the closing lines. I can do all that nonsense. But I cannot practice bankroll management. I cannot practice discipline. I'm done. So after a bit of time goes by, I finally say to myself, look, I love sports betting. I love everything about it. Like, I'm passionate about it, okay? I felt like this was my passion in life to do this, but I can't keep making the stupid mistakes again and again and again, because I don't know at this point how many times I've blown my bankroll up. 10, 20, 30, like, I really don't know. Like, a lot, probably even more than 30, to be honest with you guys. So I say to myself, we're gonna do this one more time. I'm going to deposit a large amount of money. As far as I was concerned, I think it was at the time around $1,500, $2,000. Seems like a small amount considering I lost $20,000, almost $20,000 in 2 days like that. But I made the determination that one of two things was going to happen. I was either going to do things the right way and not deviate from bankroll management ever again, or I was going to quit sports betting. I made that promise to myself that I would never ever deviate from bankroll management ever again. If I did, it would be the last time I ever bet on sports. So over the next 6 months to a year, Almost every single day I would wake up and ask myself, is today going to be the day? Is today the day that you're going to fuck up again and you're going to blow your bankroll up and you're going to chase? And the crazy thing is I found a way to make it work, okay? 24 years later, and I've never once deviated from bankroll management. I've never chased my losses. I've never got a few cocktails into me and said, hey, you know what? We had a tough day. Let's get it back. I got that realization that sports is every day. If we have a bad day, we can win the next day. If we have a good day, let's not get too high on ourselves. Let's not call ourselves the GOAT and all that other shit. Let's focus on winning tomorrow, okay? Forget what happened yesterday. Focus on tomorrow. And it's really amazing that all this time has gone by. And still today, knowing deep down inside at this point, I'm never going to deviate from bankroll management. It still enters my mind sometimes. It still enters my mind in the same way that it probably enters the mind of an alcoholic who spent 20 years of their life drinking and said, I quit. It's always with them. It's always in the back of their mind that I have that little bit of like degenerate sports bettor in me that I have to say, is today the day I'm going to do it? I know at this point it's never going to happen, but you still have to remind yourself of that, okay? You still have to be cognizant of the fact that sports betting demands perfection. Now, guys, we know that we cannot be perfect when it comes to capping games. Billy Walters, the greatest of all time, the greatest sports bettor who has ever lived, who will ever live, hit 57% of his games. The goal of a professional today is to win 54 to 56%. That means you have to be okay with losing. So we certainly can't demand perfection from ourselves when it comes to capping games. You're going to lose a good chunk of your games. You're going to have losing weeks and losing months. But what you have to demand perfection from yourself is in your bankroll management. The things you can control. Stop chasing, okay? That is the biggest killer. That is why these sports books can offer all these bonuses, because they know that even if you go on a good run, you're probably going to screw up and give it all back to them, okay? You got to stop chasing your loss. You got to stop this pie in the sky trying to win these 7, 8, 9 team parlays, trying to strike it rich. There is a reason why the sports books advertise the hell of these big parlays. John bet $100 and won $500,000. There's a reason the books advertise this stuff, because they want you to believe that it's possible. Why? Because they're holding a 50% edge, a 50% margin on these plays. You cannot win long term. So at the end of the day, you can only control what you can control. You cannot control the Yankees bullpen. We're hoping they hold for us today. It's our biggest play of the year. You cannot control what happens in the last second of a basketball game. You want to find value long term. And if you find value long term and you practice bankroll management, you will win money. You're going to have devastating losing streaks and you're going to have incredible winning streaks. But at the end of the day, the thing that you personally can control is how you approach this. You approach this as a business, as an opportunity to have the greatest return on your capital that you can have in any industry out there. In closing, my friends, sports betting and the beauty of it is this. It does not know what the economy is doing. It doesn't know if the markets are up or down. It doesn't know if the housing market's about to crash. It doesn't know if your food costs are up. It doesn't know what the price of gasoline is. It doesn't know any of that stuff. It is completely and totally independent. We have games that finalize every single day. And that, my friend, is why we can make amazing returns year in, year out, okay? We are going to have our losses. We are going to have our wins. But it's only the people who treat this like a proper business, who do this perfectly, not close to perfect, not kind of perfect, perfectly, that will come out on top and win money. So at the end of the day, guys, whether it's following me, following anyone else out there, I urge you to do this. Treat this like a business starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is a brand new day. Treat it like a business and you can win money long term. You want to treat it as a hobby, you want to treat it as a way to make a quick buck, good luck, not going to happen for you. I wish you guys the best of luck. We'll see you soon.